Welcome to Tardisian Files. So, a few more clues to keep us on the edge of our seats while we count down the days until May 11th, 36 days at the time of recording. And it appears that this season of Doctor Who is set to live up to all the hype currently surrounding it. What did you think of the new trailers and announcements? Did you perhaps spot something we didn't? Let us know on your favourite podcast app, or head over to our social media pages on Instagram and TikTok at Tardisian Files Podcasts, and put a comment in the promo post for today's episode. You can also follow our social media pages for regular updates about the show, including upcoming episodes and sound bites of previous episodes. Thank you for listening, everyone, and as always, see you next time on Tardisian Files. Starting with the episode title cards, we already knew from March 2024's Doctor Who magazine issue that the first 3 episodes would be called Space Babies, The Devil's Cord, and Boom. This week on TikTok, title cards for the first 8 episodes were released, revealing the other 5 titles to be 73 Yards, Dot and Bubble, Rogue, The Legend of Ruby Sunday, and Empire of Death. Each title card had clues alluding to the plot details from the episodes, albeit some more than others. The first 3 title cards don't tell us much other than what we already knew from previous trailer breakdowns. Space Babies, Devil's Cord, and Boom's title cards all indicated that these episodes will be featuring 1. Babies in space with a green seaweed monster on their ship, The Devil's Cord will be featuring Jinx Monsoon, and Boom will be set in a futuristic war zone either on Earth or on an alien planet. However, the newly announced titles and title cards were a bit more telling. For the 73 Yards title card, we see a pub sign on a snowy day. The sign itself is uninviting, with a tree in a red storm possibly being struck by lightning. In the first trailer, we saw Ruby sitting in a pub which has a stone interior, lucky horseshoes on the walls, alongside some working horse gear, and an old-fashioned bed warmer pan also hanging on the walls. The title 73 Yards, combined with footage from the earlier trailer, indicates that this story is set in a modern-era pub in the UK, as yards is a British measurement. Additionally, the title could be a reference to the drinking game Yards, or it could be a more ominous meaning, referring to the distance the pub is from any other building in the surrounding area. For Dot and Bubble, the title card looks like an advert for a social media platform, which at first glance indicates to me that the main villain may have something to do with the social media platform in the Doctor Who universe. Maybe the main villain is the social media platform. That to me sounds like something that Russell T Davies would write to make a point. Next we have Rogue. I really like this title card as it's surprisingly revealing and yet also baffling at the same time. The title itself could be a reference to the main villain, which we know from the trailer is Indira Varma's Duchess, who is a shape-shifting alien. Additionally, the title card is a ball invitation which gives the date and time period the episode is set in. The 8th of May, 1813. What was happening in 1813 in England? Nothing immediately springs to mind or came up in our research. However, the Regency era in general in England was known for political turmoil, so perhaps the date links to something significant in history. Additionally, the invite reveals the name of Indira Varma's Duchess, Duchess Pemberton. The next title card reveals the name of the episode to be The Legend of Ruby Sunday. The title itself appears on a screen of a professional filming camera used in producing TV shows. To me, this indicates that Ruby may be going back onto the show Foundlings from the Christmas special, as their team may have found out more information about her origins. Additionally, the title Legend indicates that there may be a more fantastical element to Ruby's origins than was previously believed. And finally, we have the Empire of Death. This title card displays the title on the TARDIS's sign, and the TARDIS itself is in a very dark, dusty area with very little light. This to me implies that the episode may be set on the dark, dusty planets from the first trailer, and may relate to a statement in the second trailer where the Doctor declares that they're trying to prevent the extinguishing of all life. Alongside the title cards, we also got a second trailer released this week. For the sake of not repeating myself from our last episode, however, I will only be focusing on things in this trailer that weren't teased in the first. For our breakdown of the first trailer, please see Season 2, Episode 8 of this podcast. We start with a domed city in the middle of a jungle. This could be the setting for Dot and Bubble, with the title referencing the bubble-like dome around the city. Then we see Ruby on the spaceship or space station where the space babies are, and she appears to be standing in some kind of artificial gestation room, which I'm guessing produces new babies. Next, we see a clip from Rogue with the Doctor and Jonathan Groff making goo-goo eyes at one another on a balcony overlooking the ballroom. I am personally beginning to wonder if there's a history between these two. The clip then changes, and we see Ruby in the same episode talking to another girl who's telling her how brave and rude she is, finding Ruby intriguing. Next, we see the Doctor and Ruby back on the Space Baby ship, with the Doctor apparently getting sprayed in the face by fire or energy. Do not worry, he is fine, but apparently he failed to fix whatever machine is in front of him because Ruby says, "No, you just made it worse." Next, we see the space station, or the ship that the Doctor and Ruby are presumably on in this episode, overlooking a very large ringed planet below. We then actually see the space babies, and surprisingly, one of them actually speaks to the Doctor in a rather childish voice saying, "Oh, it's you." How they know the Doctor is unclear, but it appears that the babies aren't being held on the spaceship like it's some kind of nursery. It actually looks like they're the crew of the ship. Little Einstein's vibes, anyone? Next we see the Doctor saying that he wants a random landing, with Ruby asking him if it was safe. Newsflash, it probably won't be. We then see actress Callie Cook surrounded by the same holographic icons we saw on the title card for Dot and Bubble. This to me looks like she's either the main villain or at least working for them. This is corroborated by the fact that we see the large beetle-like monster from the Next Time trailer in the Christmas special, apparently in the same episode, Dot and Bubble, with a hologram arrow pointing towards it and a hologram sign above it saying forward. This to me indicates that Callie Cook's character might be able to send beetle monsters to her targets in the same way that someone is able to forward a Facebook message. We then get a shot of Ruby standing in a bombed out wasteland in the same outfit that she's wearing in a clip from Boom in the last trailer, indicating that this is from the same episode. We then hear the Doctor's voiceover begin to say, "This is what we're trying to stop." The image then changes to the same two dusty planets in that distant orbit from their sun, which, based on the title card, I think is from Empire of Death, and the Doctor's voiceover finishes saying, "All life extinguished." We then see the Doctor in his unit outfit, the black biker jacket and white shirt, looking shocked and crying, indicating that someone is going to get into trouble, just as we hear him promise Carla Sunday that he's going to protect Ruby. Next, we see Jinx Monsoon rising out of a piano and saying, "You called?" indicating that someone may have summoned them either intentionally or unintentionally. We then get back to the TARDIS in the battlefield from Boom, with the Doctor declaring he will shatter this silly battlefield into dust. The shot changes to the Doctor in the TARDIS looking stoic, and then changes back to the Doctor on the battlefield reiterating himself, in a heartbeat, into dust, indicating that the 15th Doctor is going to have a dark moment, or moments, in the events of Boom. The final thing that stands out from this trailer from the last is the Doctor stepping onto the landmine from Boom, in the same outfit he's wearing at Unit. Since the show is going to be giving the Doctor a rather extensive wardrobe this season, this indicates to me that Boom is either the episode before, during, or just after the Doctor's visit to Unit. So, a few more clues to keep us on the edge of our seats while we count down the days until May 11th, 36 days at the time of recording. And it appears that this season of Doctor Who is set to live up to all the hype currently surrounding it. What did you think of the new trailers and announcements? Did you perhaps spot something we didn't? Let us know on your favourite podcast app, or head over to our social media pages on Instagram and TikTok at Tardisian Files Podcasts, and put a comment in the promo post for today's episode. You can also follow our social media pages for regular updates about the show, including upcoming episodes and sound bites of previous episodes. Thank you for listening, everyone, and as always, see you next time on Tardisian Files.